What's up, everyone? How we doing? How we feeling? What's going on? It's been a minute since I saw you, but anyways, Nathan coming back at you. That monotype, not monotype. Jeez, that's some auto. That's habit at that point. Not monotype. I'm coming back at you with an AAA Showdown live right now. As I record this, we have just found out that Noivern has been banned from the almost any ability tier, which is one of those things that is unfortunate, very sad to see, because Noivern's one of my favorite examples of why almost any ability is great, because you give it Aerolate in combination with this boom burst attack, and it's just incredible. It's an unbreakable wall, or unstoppable wall breaker. But that's kind of the exact problem with it, is that it's too unstoppable. So it's one of those things where, same with our Shifu and monotype, where I'm kind of, I'm sad to see it happen, but it's probably for the best. I pulled up a couple of calcs to kind of represent this. If you look at Noivern versus a max Spadef Cresselia, it is still getting 2-hit KO'd with rocks, thanks to Boom Burst. And this is a Pokemon, by the way, who has got 120 HP and 130 Spadef. You are not getting a better wall than this. Pretty much the only way you can stop it is with a special defensive wall, like let's say a specially defensive Jirachi, which I saved here as an example too. But even then, you are, first of all, if it's a steel type that's swapping in on you, like a specially defensive Ferrothorn or especially defensive Jirachi in this case, A, you are still pretty susceptible to getting hit by Flamethrower, but B, like Boom Burst is still like a solid 3-hit KO. This is saying it's not with leftovers, but you get the idea. 35% is like nothing to sneeze at. It's extremely strong. So it's one of those things where it's so cool, so creative. You hear that and people's eyes light up and they go, oh my gosh, yeah, I gotta play this tier. That sounds incredible, but it's a little bit too strong, a little bit overtuned. However, I don't mention this to just like, reflect on the shape of the metagame. I'm no AAA expert. I'm still kind of shaping, dipping my toes into it and relearning it here, the second stint of the tier. But I mentioned it because I was thinking about AAA and team building and stuff like that. And my thought is, well, it's cool to see things like Aerolate, and it's cool to see, you'll see similar stuff like Pixelate on certain mons that can really take advantage of it, blah, blah, blah. What I find most interesting is when you give these abilities like Aerolate and Glaciate and Galvanize to Pokemon that they don't seem obvious, is what I'm trying to say. They give them coverage per se, because to explain what these abilities are, just because I probably should clarify at this point, if you give Aerolate to a Pokemon, not only does it take the normal type attacks and it and turns them into flying type attacks. In Aerolate's case, it'll be electric for Galvanize, it will be fairy for Pixelate, but it also makes them stronger by 1.2, which is quite significant. So, a Boom Burst, instead of being 140 base power, becomes, I should have done this math beforehand, 20% of 140 is like 14, 28, so extra 30 damage on that. That's significant. That's the better part. It's like if you had an expert belt on or something. It is significant. So it's stronger. It can give you stab if that's what you're lacking on a Pokemon, like, a great example would probably be Salamence, similar to its Mega Evolution. You can go to Salamence, go Double Edge, super strong attack, and give it Aerolate. And once again, I should have done the math beforehand, but 12, 24, it's now 148 power. It's a Hyper Beam stab move on Salamence in this case. So it's awesome. And that seems obvious in cases like this or the Noivern and what have you. But what I thought was interesting was this idea that somebody left in my comments a little while ago, and that was the idea of a Galvanized Zarude, because Zarude really struggles to break flying types, and that electric coverage can be really handy. And I thought that's really cool, but you know what is even better coverage than Grass Electric? That's going to be Ice Electric. So who is a great attacker who would really benefit from that? I'll be damned if it isn't Glastrier. So hear me out. It's got a great ability to start with Chilling Neigh. But really, the fact is, unless you got some really strange stuff, like, does it even get any speed boosting moves? I should know this. I'm totally unqualified to be talking about Glastrier. I've never even used it. But, like, I don't know if it's any speed boosting abilities. I feel like there's one that I'm just neglecting, or, you can run max speed on it. You can run Trick Room, of course. These are like specific conditions, but let's not treat it as a sweeper. And if it's not a sweeper, then this ability Chilling Neigh is really not so good. It combines okay with its defenses, so maybe you take 25% on the first hit, and then you can take one more from whoever swaps in and still kill thanks to Chilling Neigh boost. But that's not the here nor there. What I think would be great is, as I've kind of alluded to right now, you give it that great coverage. Bolt Beam coverage is fantastic already. Speaking of Double Edge, I can't think of a better Pokemon to take advantage of it than this Glastrier. And the fact is, yes, it doesn't have Electric Stab on Double Edge. You consider it a 150 base power move. That's going to be hitting as hard as Icicle Crash with Stab, because Stab on Icicle Crash turns it to like 90, so it's like 130 power. So it's going to be even harder hitting than its Icicle Crash here. So it's kind of similar to, if you have a Weather Ball to Venusaur and the Sun, thanks to the boost that the Sun gives the Weather Ball, it is now hitting stronger than your Giga Drain or your Sludge Bomb. So it's kind of similar where you almost give yourself a secondary stab in addition to all this stuff. So not quite as hard hitting as, Azera Aura, Galvanize might have. It's banned, of course, but you get the idea. Not quite as strong hitting, but still, it gives you that excellent coverage, which is something that Glastrier definitely is wanting for. and I'll probably also give it close combat. And then substitute or sleep powder are really, or swords dance are really a difficult question. You could even, with this coverage here, you could do, normally you have to choose between swords dance and substitute, but damn if that isn't a good idea right here. And to briefly touch on the idea of why these are such, life orb even? Why not? Why not? But touch on the idea of why Bolt Beam is such good coverage. The immediate benefit is that electric is just a really good attacking type. It only really suffers against ground and grass types. Great, there's the ice type attacks right there. Ice also no slouch in the offensive department either. However, it suffers with steel types, which, you know, electric can normally handle, but most notably bulky waters, which electric can absolutely handle. So it's a notoriously good combination. There's very few Pokemon that can handle it very well here. And yeah, if I was gonna do substitute, I feel like you'd want the max speed, but I don't know. I think of Glastrier and I think of like max bulk, where you're just like, I've got insane defensive stats across the board. I'm gonna hit you with this huge attack that you can't deal with. You know, do your best. Good luck. But anyways, I am unprepared for this video. I just thought, let's just do a team building completely live and kind of take it from there. Because I also want to touch on this idea of AAA, about the idea of, I'm messing with my mic right now. When I was first building in the tier, which is like, that suggests I'm an expert now, but I'm really not. When I was first building is I would recommend to others, you do something like, okay, who's a Pokemon with a mediocre ability? Okay, Zapdos Galar. What's an ability that suits Zapdos Galar really well? And, you know, maybe you go Aerolate again, right? We're just on that train right now. Does it even get any good normal moves? It would really probably not love Aerolate. Sod, yeah, maybe a Flame Orb Facade. That would be pretty insane. That would be pretty insane. Ooh, hold on a second.
Write that down, write that down!
Plus, in addition to a Zapdos Galar, I've got so many memes in here now. Come on, that's interesting. But anyways, the thought I was trying to get across here was that often I would tell people to just like go for Pokemon that you think really could use a tune-up in terms of ability and take it from there and kind of mix and match the abilities that do well. But what I've been finding more productive and more interesting lately is instead the concept of what's a great ability. So for example, I was doing this on stream the other night where it's awesome because people are just rapid firing ideas at me. And I thought, okay, who could really take advantage of stamina, right? Stamina. Great ability on a kind of mediocre mon. And we kind of theorized the idea of what if Blissey got stamina? Because all of a sudden you are extremely defensive after only one boost, right? If you get this Pokemon stamina, it's already got great recovery and soft boiled. Just to be overkill, you get a heal bell, so you can't even toxic it to kill it. Its Spadef at completely base is absolutely fantastic. And once you get a couple of stamina boosts, like, oh my gosh, this thing is unstoppable. So I'll pull this up in the calc right now. Why not, actually? So this is this idea of like you build around the ability you want to build around instead of Pokemon. It can be surprisingly effective. So we get this Blissey against, you know, a Garchomp, right? Normally it's an easy 2-hit KO, but after one stamina boost, it's only doing 35 to 42. That's incredibly strong. And so then, yeah, it's one of those things where it gets worse and worse. I just keep soft boiling on you over and over and over again. All of a sudden I'm at +6 and I'm taking less from a Garchomp's Earthquake than I would from a Fire Blast. Okay, well I went too far on that. I kind of oversold that than I would on a Draco Meteor. There you go. Even with minus special attack nature. So this is the idea I'm kind of suggesting if you're kind of looking to team build like I am. Try to build around the ability instead of the Pokemon. You might be surprised by the increased success you might have. However, let's get into this. We're already 8 minutes of the recording. At this rate, I'm only going to get 1 or 2 games in at this point anyways, because at this point, it's just Nathan's podcast where he happens to have some visual aids in front of him. But first things first, when you're building with this Glastrier, it is a wall breaker, so it's not something that we were going to build around so much, but it's going to be a facet of our team, if nothing else. But still, the question becomes, who will this Glastrier struggle to break? Who will need support versus? So if we look at the stats right here, the usage stats right here, there's not, of course, going to be a lot of Pokemon that really wall us at all to any significant extent. Of course, if we get a Swords Dance and a Substitute and all that stuff, we're going to be nigh unwallable. But just if I switch it in, the basic idea is switch you in. I want to be able to break quickly to Breaker. If there's a single Pokemon that I think we would have trouble with, it's Ferrothorn. We would hit it quite hard, but I don't think we're going to be, OHKOing it, and they often carry things like Gyro Ball or Body Press for coverage. So that might be a little bit of a trouble. So I like the idea of a fire type attacker here. I saw this set earlier on today when I was laddering, and I love the idea. It's one of those things where, again, I always suggest if you're curious about something that your opponent's doing, don't be afraid to just hit them up and be like, wow, that's a cool Arcanine set you're running. What is it? And it's, something super fancy, but you know, Magikarp goes really well with fire type attackers. But Arcanite's no exception. When you get all these high recoil attacks that are really hard hitting, like Flare Blitz and Wild Charge, not only can you lean into their high damage with Life Orb, but you make yourself immune to the damage as well. So it's kind of a match made in heaven here. Extreme speed for some extra coverage. It's already got a good speed tier and attacking stats, of course, but this is just going to kind of put it over the edge. The last move here, though. Teleport we love, superpower we love, Iron Head not bad either. Close combat, very hard to say no to. Well, I mean, I feel like Play Rough would be good for all the Garchomps in the tier. Like this is, if there's ever a tier that you can think of, Play Rough is just so useful for the constant Garchomps coming in and out with Regenerator and stuff like that. Regenerator is very common for a reason. Like I thought it was slick putting Regenerator on my Nihilego, but like really it's one of those, like it's just a very good rocker. It does its job very well. In fact, let's get to building a defensive core right now. I'm probably not gonna reinvent the wheel too much right now. I think I'll just do a Corviknight with let's go Dauntless Shields, because this thing is a nightmare to break otherwise. Or as long as it's got this, I mean, Shed Shell, because I think, again, I'm not too slick by throwing Magnet Pull on my Corviknight. I think it's a very common idea right there. Actually, we'll probably do Body Press, if that's the case. U-Turn, Defog, and Roost, of course. It's great. Lean into physical defense a little bit. Love this. And then I can do a Spadefmon. Again, I kind of lean towards that Nihilego. I also kind of lean towards that Blissey I mentioned. And the benefit of both is that they have... in addition to helping shore up some Spadef issues, they're both very good at getting rocks up and pivoting back out. I might lean towards that Nihilego I mentioned though, just because it seems like a good combination with Corviknight, right? You're weak to Earth attacks, go to Corviknight. You're weak to Psychic attacks, go to Corviknight. You're weak to Fire attacks, go to Nihilego. Seems like a kind of match made in heaven to me at least. Now, Water type attacks do concern me because all of these Pokemon will get folded by like, I don't know, a Keldeo or something, right? So that kind of gives me a little bit of pause. Heavy duty boots versus leftovers or Black Sludge is a difficult question. I might do Black Sludge just for the very, very minor facet if someone tries to trick an item back and forth. We're poisoning them or doing damage to them with a Black Sludge. So lean towards that and this classic boring set of Knockoff and Stealth Rock and probably Power Gem. And I like the idea of where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? It's that Clear Smog. Not very strong, but its stab on Nihiligo's got high special attack, so it's like, you know, it's not nothing. It's kind of similar to a Scald and toxapex, which is not super strong, but it is certainly something. You know, you might be able to damage Tangrowth or something long term with that. Not that there's a lot of Tangrowth in the tier, but you get the idea. And then no attack investment, that's for sure. I might even go minus attack still. We are not using knockoff for damage in this case. Max Spadef. Speed, there's probably a good argument for, but meh. Not an argument that I will be hearing. And then, yeah, 4 there. Sure. Okay, great. So that's a pretty good core already, but as we said, water concerns me. Definitely concerns me. So I like a Garchomp as a pivot right now too. Maybe stack multiple Regenerator users at this point, but let's see if we can find somebody that can help us out a little bit. Pex and Slowbro. See, I'm looking at this through OU tier wise, which maybe isn't necessary. Let's narrow down by type. Let's do it nice and easy here. So types that resist water, grass and water themselves, of course. Anything else? Those seem like the main two. Dragon, pretty good defensive type all around too. And we're actually already resist the ice and fairy types, so Dragon would be weak to. So yeah, that kind of jumps out at me. Let's do Dragon. Seems like it would be a good combination with this core thus far. And yeah, defensive types. Groudon is neutral to water, so it's not great. Could do another Magic Guard Kyurem there. It's got Roost. It's a good pivot itself. Don't hate that. Hydreigon gives us a lot of offensive pressure, which I enjoy quite a bit. The Laddies jump out at me as extremely good. I like that idea. Komodo. Ooh, that could be very fun. That could be very fun. I need an idea. I need to build around something. I can't just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. I need something that really jumps out at me. Goodra is interesting too. Goodra is interesting. Oh, Nathan, you got to come up with something here. You got to choose one. I got to pick something here. What are the defensive stats on you? Mediocre. Sabali Dragon. I know Sabali's actually good in this tier, funnily enough, once you give it Regenerator for sure. Men's. I probably need Magic Guard on you. Boy, I don't know. I'm just going to leave this blank. I want to do a Dragon. You know, whatever. I'll throw this on for now. And so then and I can mix and match it depending on what his last mon is. So what does this team really need to go over the top? Some of the things that jump out at me would be a good setup sweeper to take advantage of these two as wall breakers and the kind of mixed attacking that these ones can bring. So an actual sweeper strikes me as a good idea. Something that can stack spikes strikes me as a good idea. I like that. What else would I look for at this point in the team? Just looking at it right now. Is there any other defenses or types that I'm like super weak to? You know, Weavile does give me pause a little bit, for sure. Very common in the tier. So like Arcanine's got Intimidate to switch into those attacks, and Knockoff could really do a number on any of these mons. Maybe a Fairy type Pokemon to kind of help us out a little bit. With Weavile, if it was something like a Tapu Fini completely shuts down Weavile, of course, that'd be great. But Tapu Fini, it's not very offensive. This team is pretty defensive already. I like to stack some more offense at this point. Is there anything else? You know, Magear would be great. Is there anything else that jumps out at me? It's just something that could really pull it all together. Klefki's also got a good typing to wall. Weavile. Boy, I mean, Azumarill. I could do something besides huge power. It's hard to imagine Azumarill being relevant without huge power, which is banned, of course. I mean, I'm just trying to say no to Tapu Fini, really, but I guess I don't have to. But let's see if we can reinvent the wheels, because Tapu Finis are always defensive abilities in this tier, right? What if we get a little bit fun and we give it something offensive, something to really lean into its offense, like maybe a Calm Mind Sweeper. I said I wanted a Pokemon that can help us against a Weavile. I said I wanted a Pokemon that could maybe sweep and take advantage of these two as breakers. So this seems like a good idea to me. And you know what? Glastier's going to break some of the steel types that Tapu Fini would have trouble with. Same goes for Arcanine. So this actually seems like a good idea. It's an offensive Tapu Fini. Now, a Scarfer, actually a solid Scarfer. It's got a good speed tier. Moonblast and Surf are a decent combination right there. You can come in as a Haze right away, come in and Taunt right away. Trick, fantastic. That strikes me as very good. However, the Dragon, whatever we end up doing with the Dragon, this is still like a blank slot, could also take advantage of a Scarf too. So I'm not going to lock in a Tapu Fini, and we're 21 minutes deep already. I mean, I've kind of like, it's not gonna be 20 minutes for you guys, but still, I've taken too long here. I got a tournament to host tonight too, which, by the way, I should have mentioned this earlier. I don't want to be the guy who's always plugging his own stream too much, but I should mention that tonight, if you're watching this, I'm hoping to have it out by 7, but tonight at 9 p.m. EST, we are hosting our first Almost Any Ability tournament. We're kind of following up the monotype tournament with that. It's gonna be really fun. I hope to see lots of people there, of course. It's specifically meant for newcomers, as per usual. Entry is free. $45 freaking grand prize to first place. Huge pot for us. We actually had someone reach out from Underdog Factory on YouTube. Go give them some love, and they offered to throw $30 into the pot, which is super cool. But yeah, so just be sure to see that tonight. If you miss it, I'll be sure to do another tournament highlights, VODs, or thing on YouTube afterwards too. So don't fret, but I should have shouted that out earlier. Regardless, back to Tapu Fini. What is an ability that would really go well with it? I mean, Tapu Fini is a notoriously good Calm Mind Sweeper. It'll be less good as a Calm Mind Sweeper once it loses Misty Surge and it can get Toxic, but still definitely jumps out as me as if I'm trying to make it a sweeper. It's probably my first thing I'm looking at right there. Iron Defense too, so you can do it in a Calm Mind, Iron Defense, and do Stored Power, even do kind of Reuniclus sort of angle on that and give it Magic Guard. That's probably my front runner for a cool idea there. And what would be a good coverage with Stored Power? Would have to be a fairy move like Draining Kiss, wouldn't it? It does get Draining Kiss, I know that. Yeah, okay, that's automatically very interesting. At this point, I'm looking for something to beat that idea, because that's just so interesting to me. I'll probably do Max Bedef or Max Defense. No, Max Bedef, because I can boost my defense so quickly. Okay, that seems extremely interesting. I'm not gonna lie. And then item would of course be leftovers or something. Okay, is there anything else that this Fini could do, an offensive Fini, that would really be, you know, that would convince me to make it offensive in that sense? Let's see. Man, Dragon's Maw could also be very interesting too, on some sort of similar situation to Glastrier. You need a dragon coverage on something, but I'm just doing a quick look through and see if there's anything else that I could do. I mean, I could give it something like Beast Boost and make it a Scarf set. That'd be kind of fun. Don't think it'd be quite as effective as what we're proposing right here. Fairy Aura, also pretty good. Give it like with Specs, it'd be a very good wall breaker. It'd be very similar, actually be pretty much identical to Tapu Lele, but instead of hitting hard on the Fairy side, you're hitting hard on the Fairy side. On the Psychic side, you're hitting hard on the Fairy side. Words are hard. That's very cool too. Oh, I can even do filter instead of magic guard if I was afraid of getting hit by, if I wasn't afraid of getting hit by status. That'd be pretty fun. That is kind of what I'm leaning towards right now, though. I think there's definitely a case to be made for Specs, Fairy Aura Tapu Fini. I really like that idea. And of course, this will still act as a great Weavile swap in, which I love. But yeah, let's do this for now, and then we can come back to our Latios here because we're way far enough to the recording by now. I mean, I'm famous for gassing on. This is a new level at this point here. So Latios would also be good because it would appreciate the steel removal from these two. Not quite removal, but disincentivization if nothing else. So that jumps out at me as a good candidate. But let's not choose our mom before we get there. And I'm having a hard time selecting the dragon type. Kyurem, same thing as Latios, and Latias would appreciate that removal. Dracozolt very good in AAA because you can give it a speed boosting ability. Plus we kind of need a Scarf at this point actually. So if I did like a Scarf Dracozolt with some sort of ability that helps its Bold Peak, that could be very cool. Maybe even a Glaciate Dracozolt. Is that a thing? Would it get a good normal? Yeah. Oh, you could do this. Oh, this is very fun, right? And I do Glaciate here. Oh, is Glaciate not in the thing because Mega Glalie isn't? Oh, that's too bad. All right, wasn't meant to be. We can't do that. What else? What else? Goodra, good enough speed tier to run Scarf for sure. It'd be a good bulky pivot too. I'm almost tempted to do like a Goodra with a Scarf and Regenerator. It's not very exciting, but it would just be a really good mod to come in and out. Do you get any pivot move? Goodra, like a Volt Switch, or a U-turn, or a flip turn? You don't, so I'm not going to make you that. Yeah, what would be one that gets a good pivoting attack on my Scarf for here? Your band, you'd be very good. I talked about you could do Mega Launcher or whatever and make its Dark Pulses, and Dragon Pulse is very strong. Seems like an obvious candidate to the point where I'm kind of looking for something to beat that out at this point. Kyurem would have to run Magic Guard, also be a terrible pivot. You don't get a pivoting move, you don't get a pivoting move. You two don't get pivoting moves. It's not essential. I would just like it at this point, if I'm being honest. You are banned now, Noivern. Later. You're alright. And we don't need a water resist anymore. So Flygon could definitely work. Could definitely work. It's got U-turn, which Garchomp lacks. Don't hate that. Dragalg seems kind of like a fun one, but it already benefits a lot from adaptability. So I feel like it would get a lot worse if it didn't have adaptability. Kingdra could be fun, maybe. We already got a water type attacker though. But it's slow and you can wear each other down. That's not bad. I think I'll just go with my Hydreigon here. It's been long enough into the live. I shouldn't take forever here. Mega Launcher, go Dark Pulse. We'll go Dragon Pulse. We will run the Flamethrower. I could do Flash Cannon instead to help with the Fairies, because Fairies are going to kind of give this Mon trouble. But we'll leave it like that for now. Speed is good. Yeah, I don't care about the minus nature and attack. That's great. Okay, let's hit the ladder real quick. I've only got time for one or two because I gotta get this out before the tournament tonight. But let's see how we do. Let's see how we do. I should also name the team, like, I don't know, Glastrier Pog. Terrible namer. Glastrier looks great here. I can hit you, I can hit you, I can hit you. I can hit all of you guys pretty neutrally too. So that's awesome. If you get a substitute, we'll be in a good shape here. Rusty Shackleford, that's an awesome reference. I think I'm going to go Glastrier in case we see defensive mon off the rip. If we see one of you three, it'll depend on what the Savali is, of course. You've got good defense, of course. I can actually get away with this. Mew's the pick. I worry about Will-O-Wisp. I worry about all kinds of stuff. They're obviously not synchronized. I expect Hazard's turn one, though, if it's the Mew lead. In which case, I could probably get away with a substitute. Or I could go to Corviknight and Defog and then U-turn out. I think I'll do that. I'll do the kind of lazy pick, just to kind of scout out my opponent and what they're running and all that stuff. They go for rock, so definitely would have been okay to go for a... Oh, and their Magic Bounce. There you go. Oh, we got the rock. The rocks are up now, so it's no longer a great option anymore. And their Magic Bounce, we kind of revealed that. Fine. Well, I can do a Mega Launcher Hydreigon right now. So we are going to want to get these off to help out our Glastrier here offensively. Maybe we could have been Heavy Duty Boots if I want to be coming in and consistently threatening that sort of thing. But Dark Pulse doing its job already. Awesome to see. Maybe we see a bit of Goodra now. Goodra will be able to handle me just fine unless they're afraid of me not being choice locked. They could be fearing with that 50% boost on the Dark Pulse right there. They could be thinking that I'm Specs. But still, any Goodra will handle that just fine. My Goodra swap in, looking like Nihilego, honestly. I could do Tapu Fini and probably handle whatever they've got. It is Max Pedef. Yeah, let's do Tapu Fini. What the hell? They are a bit of a question mark. Goodra is versatile enough they can run all kinds of abilities really well. But Meteor will be just fine by me. Let's go for a Calm Mind and try to force in that Toxapex. Okay, they go right away here. Hopefully they haze. If they toxic, I will cry. Great, that's a free substitute. Oh, it's going well. Galvanize will easily break this mon, substitute or no. Easy to a KO, I'm thinking. Except they're faster than Glastrier. Shit. Shit. Alright, let's go for this one Galvanize here with the recoil and the Life Orb. We're not going to get many of these things off. I'm thinking one double edge into Ice Cold Crash is all this Glastrier is going to get off right now, but we'll take it. Doesn't break the substitute. That's awesome. How much damage we're going to see? 97 is insane. That's the range where we can go for an easy Ice Cold Crash right now, except we actually died after one hit. Never mind. I'm going to try to put Glastrier in the thumbnail, and you guys are going to be at this point in the video with me like, is that really all he did with Glastrier? Was that one Toxapex thing? Yes. I'm telling you right now, yes. That's all I'm doing. You did get ripped off in the thumbnail. I'm sorry. The clickbait was too strong. I could go for rocks right now with Nihilego. The good thing with Toxapex is they're almost certainly not Regenerator. They could be. It's a good enough mon with its standard ability that it could still be Regenerator. But the point is, I don't want them to heal for free. That's my kind of goal as it stands. Don't see a very comfortable Dark Pulse switch in. Again, Goodra will be handled it fine with its Pedef, but I'm thinking it's going to be like 40% because Specs Hydreigon with 350 special attack. Quite strong, of course. Rusty Shackleford re-enters the game here, and their Prankster, of course. That explains why the Toxic got off so easily. Should have known that. I knew that was a standard set, and I just kind of neglected to really do much about it. They are Haze. So, what can I do? That's unfortunate. I'm surprised Dark Pulse did that little, if I'm being honest with you. I might just go to Nihilego, honestly. I've blown it here. We've blown it and let the Toxapex recover. So Prankster makes total sense. Should have known that. They're going to Toxic my Nihilego. Bit of a whoopsie there. Let's knock off here. Getting rid of leftovers will be nice. It's interesting that they're leftovers, honestly, and not Black Sludge themselves. They're fishing for a burn. They're going to get it. They are not. We are too good like that. We're too nice. Let's go to Arcanine now. The Magic Guard, we're handling this fine. We're not going to get Scald Burnt, except there's so much damage. That's really weird. Let's go for a Wild Charge then. So go to Palisand right off the rip. Dauntless Shield, Palisand to boot. Makes sense. I'll go to my Tapu Fini. I can't believe Glastrier died after one hit. Actually, literally did nothing all told, if I'm being honest. Dauntless Shield on the Fini here. We lose Magic Guard. What are the odds that this thing is also toxic? I'm going to go to Corviknight and scout toxic right now. Might as well. I can't believe it. The Glastrier literally did nothing all told, thanks to that Prankster on Toxapex. Kind of rough. Speaking of Pex, there they are again. Let's U-turn out. So go to Silvaldi Electric. Pretty cool. I'll go to Hydreigon right now, which they can't answer at this point, which is great. Is Dragon Pulse stronger? It is. Okay, I should be going for that because there's no Fairy type. And it would be able to break more effectively. 27, it's Assault Vest for sure. Ugh, rough. Let's go to Nihilego. It'll handle that fine. The U-turn out, good play on their part. Surprised no parting shot, honestly, but works. As we're gonna see Pex, I gotta guess Pex is becoming really frustrating. It's as frustrating this tier as it is anything else right now. I was kind of banking the Glastrier would be able to break it effectively, but as it stands, not so much. Let's go to Fini here, because they don't seem to have Toxic, or else they would have done it before. Scorching Sands, and then we have Magic Guard, so if they Toxic right now, it would be fine. I'll Calm Mind once. Go to Pex right away, that's fine. We don't really lose to Pex so much, honestly. Like, they could wear us down with Scald, kind of. But it's an awkward position for them to be sure. They still have no idea what we are besides Calm Mind, actually, too, which helps. They go to Pex here. How much am I going to get off this one stored power? Maybe it's a 2-hit KO after all said and done. They're going to recover and scout it out. 33, so they haze this turn. It's going to do what? 38? Oh my gosh. Welcome mine now. They Toxic us, that's great. Piece of Magic Guard. Although if we get hit with another Palace Wind and attack here, that'd be trouble. They've got so many hazes they can easily outlast us right now. But actually, we've got Iron Defense too. So they're gonna go to Palace End right now. They don't know we're Magic Guard yet. They're thinking that they're gonna force a swap eventually. That's great actually. I'm gonna except haze is priority too, isn't it? Crap. I'll do this. And they are going to skill swap. Oh yeah, okay, that'll break me just fine. Let's store power then. That's right, that combination will be just fine. But we're gonna swap out and be able to handle that fine. And we're actually gonna kill the Pex. Oh, yes. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Great. I mean, even if we've lost our Magic Guard, that's a good situation in my opinion. And Silvali's gonna be special, so I can go for a Draining Kiss on almost everyone at this point. They might have blown it. We're already at nearly 500 special attack. Silvali's not breaking me. I mean, multi-attack is physical. We're already at 400 defense. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit right here, gang. Stab, Draining Kiss, only doing 15. Oh, it's Assault Vest, that's right. Come on, Nathan. You dingus, Nathan. Regenerator, Assault Vest for sure is what that thing is. Glycopod, we resist all the stabs for. Unless they're going back to Silvali here on a pivot, which I would not chagrin them for. It seems stupid to swap out at this point when this is my best wall to Glycopod. I've got a Dauntless Shield Corviknight. Let's do it. Works on the pivot too. As a Swords Dance. Damn, I really should have Draining Kissed. I'm kind of mad at myself now. That was the thing I expected the least. I thought they'd be anything else. You're not so good for Silvaldi. You're fine versus Gudra. Maybe one of my best bets for handling Glycopod, assuming they're not recovery. And you're pretty lousy for Palisand. So I'm down to kind of just like... It's chip, you know? Yeah, I'm kind of down to do this, just to get them in range of Arcanine E-Speed. Which will outspeed their Aquajet. Aquajet. It's for priority. That's a good slogan. We should write that down.
Write that down, write that down!
I'm just adding terrible memes at this point. Corviknight, we really need you to clutch it up here, and more importantly, we need you to bird up. As we wait for our opponent to reconnect, it'd be kind of a lame note to end it on, but I will note that Feeney is looking better and better at this point. No water attack, actually. It's funny that I denied using a Kingdra because it'd be a water attacker. We actually don't have any water type attacks on this team as it stands right now because Feeney is stored power and Draining Kiss. But I like the idea. Looks like we're going to see a DC, which is unfortunate because even though we're in an advantage position, I'm going to say that there's a lot left on the table here. But that you guys should be happy because that'll force me to get one more game here. It's about as long as alive as you're likely to see from me. But let's do one more. Let's do one more. Why not? I know it's been a long time, but let's just keep going with one more. Very creative, cool looking team so far. Love the Rosa Raid here. Maybe not so creative in terms of the Blacephalon, the Weavile, and the toxapex are a little bit obvious, but it'll be fun to see what else is rocking here. Glastrier, of course, got an eye out on that toxapex here. Hopefully can actually finally do it this time. In terms of lead matchups, it's hard to say. There's all kind of like Sashmons I kind of worry about. Hydreigon's got some good matchups off the rip, which I enjoy. So I'm liking that idea as we see the Tapu Koko with Drizzle. So it's a rain team, it's revealed. So probably a Inteleon. I have run a rain team, so I'm kind of familiar here. We'll pivot out on a possible Dazzling Gleam. I like Nihilego here. Don't think Koko gets Weather Ball unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, that's fine by me. Rocks seem great on a likely Inteleon swap in, but so would Knockoff if that's the case. How comfortably do I swap into Inteleon? It's hard to say. Let's knock off. Why not? They Thunder. They're just gonna stay in as we take off their Damp Rock. It's actually not so bad in the long run against a rain team. I'll go for Rocks at this point. Maybe now they'll swap and realize that they should not stay the course here. So maybe I should have knocked off a second time if I'm being honest, because I kind of fear this being wide, no, what's it called? Tinted Lens, like I run. In which case Feeney's no swap in, calm or not here. And if you're Specs, you're just killing on literally everyone at this point. So I'm gonna have to just literally pick a sack right now. So Arcanine, you can do a lot of damage, like kills you. We'll be able to handle the fire type attacks from you. Could kill you. You know, E-Speed is all kinds of good. So that seems fine to me. Maybe it's Corviknight. Weavile, we got Tapu Fini for. You're not good for Blacephalon or Koko. And Rosa Raid is a giant question mark, but I mean, everyone else can be kind of in there. So I'm thinking Corviknight's a sack, if I'm being honest. It looks like a pretty special team here. Yeah, the fact that it only did 85. Maybe your scarf. Maybe your scarf wide lens or something like that. Well, if body press went off, that'd be awesome. They snipe shot on their Grim Nay, actually. Okay, that's the reveal. So I should have gone to Tap Fini the whole time, I guess. Can I kill you with Hydreigon? They could still be Scarf too and outspeed me, of course. No, because they switch moves. That's right, that's right, that's right. What is their ability, I wonder? Well, Hydreigon, can you kill? It's a +1. I'm going to look it up really quickly here because I want to make sure I know what I'm getting into right now. Inteleon, is your average. Hydreigon, offensive, and I'll do choice specs because it's essentially... Hold on. Okay, it looks like Meteor kills, or yeah. I have a rough head calc, but this should work. I will Dragon Pulse, letting Coco in for free. Maybe I should have Dark Pulse there, but I've still got an easy Nihilego swap in. Coco's the play. We'll go back to Nihilego. Only 2 turns left of rain, which is awesome for us as a Volt Switch, I'm going to guess. Nature's Madness is the pick. That's pretty cool. Let's Power Gem and really weaken this Mon here. Clear Smog might be stronger, actually. Double Effectiveness, still Stab. Yeah, let's do it. As they go to Toxapex, fair enough. If we can get a chance to get Glastrier in, that'd be awesome. But I'm worried about Scald right now. Let's go to our Tapu Fini. Honestly, it's kind of setup bait right now. I'm going to go for this. I'm going to go for a Calm Mind. Hopefully we see... Actually, we could see Rosa Raid right now, honestly. We're going to do this as they go for Toxic. Yeah, and then Prankster. So I'll never be able to set up on them with Glastrier because they can always Toxic me before I get that off, which is irritating. Well, let's go to Glastrier, and let's go for a raw Galvanize on this Haze right here. Yeah. So I will go for just a raw Galvanize right now. Nobody's taking it. Yes, we're going to take Toxic, and we're going to take so much damage this turn. 44. I am crushed by that. I am absolutely crushed by that. And Swords Dance, they can just Haze on me again. That is devastatingly low damage. Are you serious, Glastrier? Oh my god. Okay, gotta go to Arcanine right now. This Glastrier is not putting in any work right now. We're Magic Guard, so we'll handle that. A crit did 65. Wait, they're not Prankster. They're just outsped us that turn. What is their thing? Are they Solid Rock? I'm gonna think that's Solid Rock because that is like the damage this thing is taking is like insanely low. I can outpace them though. They'll Scald, of course. Wait, the crit Wild Charge did 35. That last one did 41. Am I missing something? The crit Wild Charge. Oh, they're multi-scaled. That Dragonite ability. Okay, that's kind of fun. Probably not what I would run, but it's interesting at least. Now, that's 90. This will do double the damage because it's not weak, so this should kill, yeah. Arcanine's actually kind of the GOAT right now. I'm loving Arcanine, which is awesome because it's one of my favorite Pokemon, but I'm just still crushed by the Glastrier. It's nice knowing that it did, so that Galvanize did 44 with an 88 regularly. That's at least encouraging. We outspeed you unless you're Scarf. And you can't sleep me. You could be Tinted Lens, Leaf Storm, Scarf, but it doesn't seem terribly likely. However, while Flare Blitz might not kill in the rain, it might not. Send it anyways. Yes. Never sleep on this Arcanine. It's too cracked. You see Toxapex again. They're going to get a rain boosted Scald off. I'll go for a Wild Charge now because I'll do 41. And yeah, I'm not going to let them recover on me. I've got more Wild Charges than they've got recovers. Yeah, they confirm it's multi-scale packs. Cool idea. Definitely a cool idea. They get up to full this time. They'll be able to go for a Scald here, but yeah, the Magic Guard Life Orb Arcanine, I thought that was just like a fun idea, but it's been completely like instrumental in our success so far. Heligo or Blacephalon's going to come in. I don't care what they are. Hydreigon will handle it fine here. Okay, not that fine. They could be Scarf themselves, I guess. Scarf, whatever. Weavill's going to come in. We still got a full health Tapu Fini. That's going to take the game there. GG to our opponent. Fun games. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure if you got any cool ideas for AAA to let me know in the comments. I'm doing about a week's worth of content for it, so I'll do a couple more lives. So I see something really great, like with, well, it wasn't this Glastrier, but it was the Zarude, Galvanized Zarude that kind of inspired this. Let me know. Really unfortunate we need to get to see this put in more work. I don't think the idea is bad per se. Maybe it needs more speed so it can set up on Toxapex. Maybe that's the flaw. You know, something like this. Well, what's a base Toxapex running? Toxapex base speed is 106. So maybe this is what you need to make it a little bit more effective. But Prankster's toxapex is so common. I don't even know if that makes sense. They're almost always going to get the toxic off on you. And if they're getting the toxic off on you with priority, then we're still 2-hit KOing with Galvanize or Double Edge very easily. So I actually think this is a pretty solid idea. I'll kind of defend myself and say I think this is a really cool, viable idea. Just didn't quite pan out for us. I've said it a million times. It's the curse of a Showdown content creator. I want to show something off. Let me show it off. Why do we keep getting screwed over by bad luck? I don't get it. Give me better matchup luck, Showdown. I need to flex on these ladder players. But anyways, that's gonna do it for us today. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Stay tuned to the channel for some more AAA content. Make sure to join the tournament tonight. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time. Take it easy.